know someone that's kind or doing so many things right in their lives, it makes you think, okay, what are they doing that I can learn from? Hence why it's so important as a Muslim to represent the religion positively and be a kind person, because that actually is the thing that leads people towards Islam the most. And then from there I started listening to Hamza Yusuf, Bilal Assad and a couple of others, and I thought they were good for general life direction, i.e. take the Quran out of mind. Actually, it's just good life advice, and it made me feel very peaceful, so that's where it started. I also started to change my For You page and the content creators that I followed, and started following Muslim women, not just hijabis, but just those that were kind of leading their life through Islam. And they didn't even have to mention Islam. I just started to notice that the accounts that I follow started to change slightly, and I just appreciated their more modest fashion, or how they spoke, or how they looked towards their family. So many things. It didn't have to be directly Islam. And then before reverting, I started to live like a Muslim, just because I thought that would make me feel easier about the whole journey and it'd be less of a shock and less of a jump. So I started praying. I fasted a couple of days in Ramadan a couple of years ago, and I was learning slowly but surely. But it definitely wasn't linear, and that's what I would say my biggest bit of advice. It's not going to be linear. I definitely didn't adopt that full time, and there were times of weakness, even just last year and before I reverted, when I would go back to typical ways that other people around me were doing where I grew up, drinking, going out, partying, etc. But then I got to a point wherein I was trying to mimic a lot of the actions that I would do fully if I had reverted. And I was in a place where I was kind of in no man's land, wherein I hadn't reverted, so hadn't joined the Muslim community, and I didn't have the support because of that. But then I'd almost waved goodbye to old habits and past life and maybe past company that was just revolved around talking about boys and going out and etc. So I got to a point where I pragmatically thought about it and thought, what is the worst that could happen? And I looked into all of the different ways of being when you are a Muslim, and looked